Here we go.
Hi.
What's up? How are
Hi,
you?
girl. Hi. I'm so good. Can you hear me okay?
Yep, I can hear you
I
perfect.
only
You're
have
good.
one earbud. The other one has disappeared, so
Oh, well,
I'm
that
glad it's
sounds
working.
familiar.
I know, right? Shit.
I have an
Oh,
adapter that I have to use for my phone. It's like that long. That
uh-huh.
shit disappears all the time. I'm
Oh,
like,
it's
oh shit, where's
crazy.
my adapter? I got two
I,
minutes.
I never used to lose shit before I had kids, and now that I've had kids, it's like it's here one day, it's fucking gone the next. It makes me crazy, and
Oh,
it's
we'll
just
call it
constant
organized
surrender.
chaos. Organized
Exactly. No
chaos, right?
kidding. Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
how are you?
So good. So good. Yeah.
You
Super
look
happy to be
you
here.
look amazing.
Aw, thanks.
I'm so
So do
honored to
you.
have you. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, I want to open with I was just telling everyone, I interviewed you a long time ago when I first started the business.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I just want to, it is like a testament to the business and our tribe, what we are experiencing right now in this interview, because you are my soul sister. Like our
Mm.
relationship has evolved to like a genuine friendship. And
Yeah.
that is what I feel with you right now. Before I was
Mm-hmm.
like nervous and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
it's Brooke. I'm interviewing Brooke. And now I'm like, oh, it's Brooke. I just want to give her a squeeze.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's a beautiful way to do business. It's
Yes.
completely different than the old paradigm bullshit that takes place
Yeah.
in most of the world still. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's what I want to talk about with you. Like I would love
Sure.
for you to you have a beautiful story. I would love for you to share your story, and
Mm-hmm.
like I want to see it from the perspective of the law of attraction, because that's the
Mm.
gift that we have to offer here. Like we don't have
Mm-hmm.
to go chasing people down anymore.
Yeah.
This is solely about vibration. It is not
Mm-hmm.
about numbers. It's
Mm-hmm.
not about parties and your list of 100 and
Mm-mm.
how many people can I fucking spam, you
No.
know, right?
No.
It's
Yes.
about an internal journey.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so share with us, my love.
Yeah. Well, let's see. You want me to start with just a little bit about my story?
That would be beautiful.
Okay. Well, 2.5 years ago, I have two children. I have an 11-year-old and a 7.5-year-old. And 2.5 years ago, obviously, you could do the math at how old they were. And I'm an unschooling mom. And I was very much stuck in like a place where I didn't recognize myself. I didn't know what the hell had happened. I was so passionate about conscious parenting and doing things differently with my kids that I like threw everything I had into that and them, which I loved. And I was so grateful that I was able to do that. What nobody was talking to me about or illuminating in any way is that we can actually be conscious parents and give everything that we want to our children as well as not self-abandoning ourselves.
Mm.
And I had completely self-abandoned and given up practically everything and was not happy. I just wasn't. But I didn't really recognize how dissatisfied I was because I was just going through the motions of like waking up and kids and taking care of things and cleaning up and cooking and cleaning and like all that domesticated world. I've become a domesticated woman, which is
Yeah.
totally fine, but it was actually not what I wanted. It really wasn't. I had a different picture in mind. And when I found myself in this position where I will never forget it because it was 2 o'clock in the afternoon and I was in my bathrobe still and my kids were tearing around the house and the house is a fucking disaster, as it always is, especially when you're homeschooling. It's like, it's always a disaster, but when your kids are home, like with you all the time, it's endless, absolutely endless. And I remember they were running around and I was like, how did I get here? This is not what I wanted. This is not what I signed up for. Not meaning that I didn't want my children. Of course not. I love my children. I'm so grateful to be a mom. But the lifestyle and like what I had said yes to and realizing that I was kind of stuck in this cycle, not kind of, I was absolutely stuck in this cycle that I had never actually agreed to. It's just like, you have these babies and then they give you the baby and they're like, best of luck to you. And then your
Right.
whole world changes. And then all of a sudden, 5, 6, 7, 8 years have passed and you're like, fuck, what the hell happened to me? Like my
Right.
dreams, my desires, my aspirations, my passion, my light, like even the way I looked was so different. I mean, you put the picture up yesterday. It's like, I look at that picture and I'm like, oh, I don't even, makes me sad. It makes my heart ache, you know? And I see this in mothers all the time, like everywhere I look, where I'm just like, oh, I remember being there and not knowing how to get out of it. And that was when I really started asking and praying and getting quiet. And it took like, I don't know how long it took, actually. I need to think back to that. But I think like between 4 to 6 weeks of getting quiet and getting very intentional on like, okay, I'm really ready for something. I don't know what, but I knew I wanted to start a business. I knew I wanted to be making my own money again, because we were also at the time just totally month to month and not thriving. And I didn't feel like I had money for babysitters, or certainly I couldn't go away for a weekend or go to a retreat that I wanted to, or like these, you know, the weekend things would come up, and even the family camps. I was like, well, it all costs money. And we just weren't in a position where I could do that. And I was frustrated. I was so frustrated. But what happened was that I just got clear on, you know, when you get clear on recognizing that you're ready for something different, that's where the law of attraction comes in. And that's where the universe goes, okay, you're actually ready. And bloop, here you go. And I found this online business, and I found it through Facebook, which was crazy to me. I clicked on this friggin' link at midnight and watched this, what I thought, ridiculous webinar, you know, at midnight, like this in my bed, rah, 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 what's this thing? This is such a way, I should just be sleeping. What am I doing, wasting my time watching this thing? But on the other side of it, I truly felt like there was like a megaphone, like my body was covered in chills. And I felt like there was this megaphone saying, pay attention, listen up. This is what you've been asking for. And I'm like, what? This? Are you kidding me? And they were like, yes. And I thought, all right, I'm going to listen to that, and I'm going to pay attention. And I was still completely skeptical and full of limitations and lack and all kinds of limiting beliefs. But, you know, I've learned enough in my life, and I'm 40, I'm 49. And I feel like I've learned enough in my life to listen to the messages that I get. And I had a near-death experience when I was 24. And so I feel like a very deep connection to spirit, source, God, whatever you want to call it. And so when I get a message, I listen, because when I had that near-death experience, spirit spoke to me over and over and over and over and over. Don't go, don't go, don't go, to the point where I said to my friend, something's telling us we're not supposed to be doing this.
I got goosebumps.
Like, yeah, me too. Me too. We looked at each other, 24 years old, you know, and we're like, something's telling me we're not supposed to go on this trip. But we were like, fuck that, we're going anyways, because we had paid for it, and it was out on a boat, and it was this advanced scuba diving course, and nothing was going to deter me from this. And I almost died, and she did. I lived, and she didn't. And from that point forward, I was like, as I looked back on that and recognized that those messages were there, and that I heard them loud and clear, but that I did not listen to them. And I feel like that is one of the biggest pieces. You know, everybody has access to this. Like, everybody has access to the law of attraction and to source and spirit and God, like whatever they want to call it. The question is, are we tuned in enough to listen? Because we get the messages, but then most of us, you know, we get the message to do this or do that, or that, you know, that gut instinct where something is telling you something, but our monkey mind then takes over. Yep. And we start making all these reasons, well, or we talk ourselves out of it, or we talk ourselves into it, or whatever it is. But we can't just like be so tuned in and trusting that it's all actually divinely guided and you're getting exactly what you need whenever you need it. And that was a massive lesson for me, obviously, 20 some years ago, 27, 8 years, I don't know, I have to do the math, but many, many years ago. And so it's informed my life forever. And then when this came in, I felt very similarly, like I was getting very clear messages. But my monkey mind and my fear and my skepticism and the fact that I had been scammed for $70,000 like just a couple years before that, and I was playing very small in my life because of that experience, and I had all my reasons why I shouldn't. Like, my monkey mind was like, no, 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 no.
Right.
But my higher self was like, listen, what you're doing now, Brooke, is not going to change your life. Like if you want to change your life, you have to change. You have to change. I had to change. And it was just so clear to me that there was no other option other than to say yes and to dive in and see what was here. And 2.5 years later, you know, everything's different for me. And I I just I know it's possible for me and it's possible for everybody. And so I get super passionate about sharing it with other women and moms, especially. I mean, we have lots of amazing men in our business. Don't get me wrong, tons of amazing men, but who I tend to speak to is women and moms. And I want everybody to know that we can actually cast off like all the limitations that we have. Like, it doesn't matter where you've come from or who you've been or what you think you failed at in the past. It doesn't matter. Like, all that matters is that you make a new decision now and you line up with source and you listen and then you take the action to like change your life. And if I can do it, anybody can do it, because I did it, you know, full time with my kids for the whole first year, just in the pockets of my time, and built a wildly successful business. And it's changed everything about me, including the way I look. Like, really, it's pretty shocking. Yeah.
Huge transformation. So
Yeah.
my journey is somewhat similar to yours in that I was very intentional about, I was looking for something online.
Mm-hmm.
I've got 3 kids. I'm a single mom.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that I didn't want to trade time with my kids for more money working in the hospital. And I was like, I know there's a way. I know there's a way. And so like you, I went quiet. It's like, okay, I'm going to go deep into meditation. I'm going to ask, and I'm just going to be open, and I'm going to surrender. And that's when I saw you. And so this is the cool thing. This is the cool, this is just a beautiful example of the law of attraction. So, you know, essentially the way our business works is that we do the inner work and we magnetize ourselves. We literally become a magnet and we call in our soul tribe. My soul tribe is meant for me. Brooke's soul tribe is meant for her. There is zero competition. It's all about collaboration. And so I remember watching you, Brooke, and going, I don't know what the fuck she's doing, but I want to feel like that. I want to feel like that. I want to look like that. I want that fire in my soul. And I was like, so I don't know what it is, but I want it. I want it. And that's, people they don't buy a product, right? People fall in love with you. It's about trusting you and wanting to go on a journey with you. And I was a full body hell yes. I was like, I want in. I am so in. And so I love something that you said to me not long ago. You said, you know, lean on the certainty of those who came before you. And that is, again, what this space offers is you know, you're about 1.5 years ahead of me. You've been doing this not much longer than me, but I have grown to a space now where when I was looking at you saying, I want what she's got, people are saying that to me now.
I know. I have chills. I know there, Monica. It's been so fun to watch you just like blossom and expand and grow. It's been so beautiful. And that is one of the fucking most, like the money is a byproduct, you know, like I really believe that when you get in full alignment with yourself and your desires and who you are and your voice and your message, and we help you figure all that out. You don't have to know that coming in. I didn't know jack shit about this. I couldn't even save a friggin' picture on my computer. Like, I'm so not a techie person. So the idea of me building an online business, I was like, oh, and I had all these ideas that it meant I was going to have to be on social media all the time and just all these myths, you know? Oh shoot, I forget what I was going to say. But it was something about, it's
like
gone.
that it's not just about the money, that it's not just about the money. There's so much more. It's just a byproduct.
Thank you. The money comes automatically when you do the inner work, like when you get really lined up with your soul calling and what you're wanting. And there's just no way for it not to come when you have the right vehicle. Like when you have a vehicle that can actually pay you well, and you do that internal work so that you are fully lined up with you know, body, mind, heart, soul, like all of it is really, really lined up, and there's no out points, you know, because it's like an energetic hose. It's like when we're talking about the law of attraction and ways to manifest things, if there's an area in your life that is out, you know, maybe you have a crappy relationship that you've actually wanted to get out of for a long time, or maybe you're not really taking care of your body the way that you want to, or maybe you're full of negative thoughts and you are not in control of the way that you think, or maybe you've never taken the time to really dive into personal development in a whole other way to to activate your mind in a new way and learn these new tools. And when you have an out point, it's like our whole bodies were these beautiful energetic hoses. But if you have an out point, then you have a kink in that hose. And if you have a kink in that hose, then the money's not going to come. And the other thing about it is that you've got to heal your relationship with money. And this was something that I started with straight away, because I knew, you know, I had like $57,000 in credit card debt when I started this business. And did not have a good relationship with money, not by a long shot. And I was digging myself out of that for years and years. And that was from being scammed, right? When I said I had been scammed from the 70 grand, that was like me digging that down, which was such a long, endless, seemingly endless battle. Until I found this business, and then it wasn't. And then I was like, okay, great. Next, like you can just kind of take care of that and onwards we go. But the energetic hose, I had a lot of kinks in my energetic hose because I wasn't clear on what I was wanting. I didn't know how to create my reality. I had a really terrible relationship with money. I was living out of integrity with my own life and my own values and what really mattered to me. I wasn't really speaking my truth for lots of other reasons, because, you know, as women, we learn to be people pleasers, and nobody says, oh yes, speak your voice, be as loud as you want, express yourself however you want. Like, this isn't how we grow up. So I had a lot of social conditioning that I needed to unpack and let go of. But once I did that and everything went, you know, then it was just like, boom. And that is such a big part of the law of attraction, in my opinion, is really lining up with what you want, what you say you want, and then taking the aligned action that really, truly serves you and other people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And as mothers, it's like we martyr ourselves.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
We martyr ourselves because that's what we think we're supposed to do.
I know.
And when you can like really take the time and tap in and really fill your own cup, this is when you magnetize yourself. This is when you call on the women who are looking for the same thing.
Yes.
And this is when we serve our families on a higher level, and everyone around us on a higher level. I mean, my whole life changed as I tapped into this business because all the tools are there. All the tools are there. The vehicle is there. And it is a space where it's like, when you go in, you're not real sure. You're like, I don't quite get it, because it's energetic. It's not something you can explain. It's something that you listen to your heart. And if you're a full body hell yes, like I was, you go in and check it out. Okay. So can we talk a little bit about what we have coming up that the ladies might be interested in as far as our personal branding? So we're like coming up with a personal branding kind of mastermind, because there's kind of a mystery around personal branding. You hear that term dropped a lot here and there, but like, what really is it? Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm super excited about this. And we'll have the dates to announce this week, but it's going to be in the next 2 weeks. But the idea behind this is that you can build a personal brand and actually monetize yourself, which is like, what do you mean? How would I possibly do that? Well, the truth is that everybody has a story, you know, everybody has their own experience of where they've come from and what they've gone through in their life, and tons of wisdom. We have so much wisdom that we've gathered over the years. And the idea is that you can build this personal brand around what lights you up, what inspires you, what you like, what's the thing that you could talk to a stranger for 20 minutes about. You know, we all have these things. It doesn't matter what it is. Like, it could be friggin' dog training, yoga, makeup, kids, parenting, law of attraction, quantum physics. Like the sky is the limit. Like, there's no box that you have to be put into when you build a personal brand. You truly build it around your values, your beliefs, what you stand for, and what you want. And then you learn how to monetize it. And that's a whole bigger question that we will answer in the 2-day mastermind. But the idea is that, you know, we hear this idea of personal branding and most people don't really know what it means. And I didn't even know what it meant when I first started. But the tagline is, you know, get paid to be you. Like, it's very easy and people don't understand that. So we're going to break it all down and show people, like, what does it mean to build a personal brand, and how anybody can build a personal brand, no matter where you came from, no matter, like, it doesn't matter if you had a freaking formal education or not. Like, all these old social paradigms that we think matter in terms of being successful in business, you can just throw them all out the window. Right. Like, really, everything. You get to throw it all out the window and create a brand new reality, and know that if it's possible for us, it's sure as hell possible for you. And that was one of the biggest things, excuse me, is when I saw all these other mothers here, because I really wanted to travel the world and I wanted freedom, and I just wanted my power back, you know? I really, really wanted my power back. And I was seeing all these other women, and we have a global business all over the world. So people can work from anywhere in the world. So we're not limited on location in any shape or form. And that's friggin' amazing. And like, you know, I had my dream come true right when COVID hit, and I was in Bali for 30 days by myself, which was like, are you kidding me? By myself for 30 days. And had like one of my biggest months in the business, traveling around and playing and just like sharing my life with people. And you don't have to be traveling around to do it either. Like there's so many different ways to do it. So in this mastermind, we're going to break down over the course of 2 days. Each session will be like an hour to an hour and a half, and tell people exactly how this works so that it takes the mystery out of it. And you see how truly you could do this. Anybody could do this. It just requires a dream and a desire, and then taking action.
Absolutely. It requires you believing in yourself, you know, giving yourself the gift to dream again. And what I love about personal branding is that, you know, like you said, you can do it any way you want. And I have been able to just take my kids and plug them right in. I didn't want to lose time with them. I thought, okay, how can I structure this to where like I'm gaining time with them? And, you know, when we get into alignment and we're taking aligned action, we shorten the distance between A and B. So boom, right there. And then when you can just take them with you and you can vacation with them and plug that into your branding, it's a very beautiful, fluid process that really anyone can do. So if you're interested and you want to learn more, this is free value. Like this is us giving back, because that's what our business is built on. Our business is built on genuinely loving people and taking you by the hand and pointing to a door. And like, if you're interested in the door, come through the door with me. But if you just kind of want to check out what we've got going right here, that's all good too, because it's all about friendship. And I love that I can say that I have a global business. Like, I can't wrap my brain around it, because I have a global business. I went from being, you know, a stay-at-home mom that became a nurse to prove her worth. And that didn't work out for me because I had to find it in here first. And now here I am, like playing and having fun.
Yeah, I know. And the other piece for me is like, as women, like there is a way to do business from the divine feminine, like truly with ease and flow and honoring ourselves. Like no more of this like hustle and working and abandoning what you desire. No, actually we teach people to do the opposite. We actually teach you to dive into your dreams and your desires and what feels good first, and then fill in the gaps. And you get to fill in the gaps through all the education, because we teach everybody how to build a brand. We teach everybody how to build an online business. And you get to work this as much or as little as you want. Like there are people that, you know, one of my mentors, when I first was looking at this business, I was like, okay, so tell me, I want to know the truth. Like, tell me for sure.
I want to know everything.
I was so aggressive, you know, and I was aggressive because I had come from that experience of getting scammed by somebody. So this time I was like, okay, like I want to know everything. And I remember when I asked her, I said, all right, so I get that you've been super successful here and you've been in this business for about a year. She had been here for about a year and a half when I started. And I wanted to know, like, how many hours a day are you actually working? And she's like, I do about 3 hours a day. And 1 hour of that is my morning routine and my self-care. And I was like, huh? What?
That's a thing?
Really? Like, I didn't believe it. You know, it's that whole like too good to be true. But you know what? We don't know what we don't know. And when you have a different business model, when you have something like this, that it involves automation and it involves things that are online, and so much, like all the heavy lifting in this business is done for you. Like, I just leaned on the leaders. I was really freaking coachable. I worked on my thoughts and my limiting beliefs. And I was like, there's no reason I can't do this and work 2 to 3 hours a day as well. And that is my reality now. And I don't even work every day. You know, this is all I'm doing today. I'm going to go out and plant my garden with my daughter and go on adventures. And And, you know, there is a learning curve, of course. Like, I'm not going to say it doesn't take work, but I always tell people, like, if you can do 2 hours a day, you can build a momentum in this business. And for mothers and women in particular, it's absolutely possible for anybody.
Absolutely. Awesome. So if you have questions, throw them in the comments. We're happy to answer any questions. If you want to know more, you can reach out to me in Messenger. We can have a conversation, or throw personal brand in the comments. And I'm happy, more than happy, to invite you just so you can come and check it out. Just come feel the value. It's all about feeling your way through it. And we're here to support you in whatever way we can serve you. So, Brooke, I love you so much.
I love you too. Thanks for having me.
So appreciate your time.
Oh yeah. You know, the last thing that I want to say is that there's something about being surrounded by other powerful moms and women who are really stepping outside of the box of what we've been told our lives can be. Because there is a social narrative that we've all bought into, on it, whether it's conscious or subconscious. And I feel like regardless of whether somebody does this business or something else, I just want to drop how important it is to be surrounded by people who are living a fuck yes life, who are really like open to receiving and open to creating. Because it's like playing tennis, you know. If you're playing tennis with somebody who's a really crappy tennis player, you don't play as good. Like, it's not going to be much of a game. But if you're playing with somebody who's like fired up and really in shape and has like
momentum,
mastered this,
right?
You're like, holy moly, I got to play better. Like, we have to keep in this curiosity of like, how do I expand more into who I truly want to be? And your circle of influence friggin' matters, man. And that's one of the fun things about the personal branding 2-day mastermind, is going to be that you get an opportunity to feel into our community and to feel the vibration. Because there's not one single person that I know that has dove into this business who has not said the same thing. My life is completely different. Like, completely different. And that's because of the circle of influence. It's because of the education. It's because when you really open your heart and activate what you truly want, life will change on every possible level. And we're so worthy of it.
Yes, we are so worthy. So worthy. Yeah. You are enough. You are enough. So yeah. Well, thank you for your time. I so appreciate you.
You're welcome, Monica. Absolutely. And if anybody's watching the replay on my page, you can do the same thing. Just reach out if you want the link for the mastermind, and we'll be announcing lots more about it, but it's going to be super fun.
Awesome.
So, have a great time in
your garden. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, bye.